Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? Is your man Theo Butler. We in here. Had to get my call. Had to get my call. Oh man. Before it began, like, share, subscribe. This about to be a life. This about to be a nice one. This about to be a nice one. Oh yeah. This about to be a nice one. I see we got folk. We got a Ron Fall up in the building already and everything like that. You see, you know I'm ready. I got my coffee. Shout out to Plant Poppy and everything like that. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to this one right here. Yes. Good God Almighty Jesus. I'll make sure I greet everybody that's already in here. We got Harama, that's Grand Madam Tarot, my spiritual advisors in the building. D. Steezel, the Rock With Me Nation moderator, is in here. Yeah. S. Janice is in the building. Yeah, boy, look here. We here. Harama Fall has already donated $5. We gonna make it do what it do. This gonna be a nice one right here. I think this gonna be one for the books. I'm excited as a Generation X baby boomer, somebody who was living in Bronx, New York, when the first Star Wars movie came out. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this right here. Oh yeah. We gonna do our darndest not to leave no stone unturned. The question on the table, all things being equal, could a Black Panther franchise be as relevant as the Star Wars franchise? That's a fair question. That's a fair question. Want to thank y'all so much for pulling up. Y'all didn't have to. I don't want to say there's really no right or wrong answer. This is a discussion-based video. Yes, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of what ifs and shoulda, woulda, couldas and everything like that. But remember, all things being equal, that's what we're looking at as far as the starting point. I'm going to go on over here to X because this is actually where it started at. This is actually where it started. Got two brothers disagreeing with each other. Hopefully, things can be worked out. I'm not gonna mention any names and everything like that, but hopefully, hopefully things can be worked out. They're just saying. So, and mind you, the low key, what I would mention one, it does Harama Fall. Now, Harama Fall, his mindset wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. I got it. I understood what he was saying. I was picking up what he was putting down. I did. He picked it up. He put it down. I received it. I said, okay, I'm getting what you're saying. I'm getting what you're saying. Relevancy. If the Black Panther franchise is being treated with respect like other franchises are, it's been disrespect. We cannot argue that this franchise has been disrespected. Yes, it has. That's not up for debate. That's not speculation. That's not innuendo. Ever since the actor passed, Marvel Entertainment. Notice I didn't say studios. No, I said entertainment because I'm including live action, animation, and the comic books. Yes, ever since the actor passed away, Marvel Entertainment has been taking a huge dump on this character. I'm sorry. What I don't know why the comic books got affected, but the comic books got affected. So I got my brother Harama Fall out here and everything like that. And like I said, great. It started. I got it. I'm like, I get it. I understand what he's saying. And then things went left. There was a disagreement that took place between he and another gentleman. Hopefully, that's not a word. Hopefully, they've been able to bridge that. I as a member of Generation X, I understand when you get between two men, you might get hit. So I try not to get caught up in the middle. Like, oh, that's what y'all talk about? Okay, all right. So, Haramafal, all things being equal. Make sure I greet everybody. Could Black Panther have been as relevant as Star Wars? 1977, right? What do we know about that? Some might call it groundbreaking, but I'm not going to do that. Star Trek was already sitting out there with Gene Roddenberry, so we're not going to do that. We can call it a fresh take on it. Okay. I don't think we really know who the actors are in the movie. Three-parter. Not I might be. No, it was a three-parter originally. You knew after the first movie, they were coming back with another movie. You knew after the second movie, they were coming back with a third movie. All titular characters came back. All titular characters came back. That's what that is. Not only did you have the movie franchise out there, but I want to say small scale, right? About the same size as the G.I. Joe action figure, about 3.75 and a half inches tall. Right. They launched a toy line. Kenner launched a toy line. I remember that. Everybody had to go get them. As a matter of fact, Hasbro since then has taken over the toy license, so you can go back and still get your Star Wars action figures no differently than you did when you was what, 10? Marvel comic books, they got involved in the Star Wars business. Yes, they did. Sure did. Then you had independent authors start writing Star Wars novels. Some of those novels went on to become canon to the first three damn movies. Now, we ain't got to this, well, the next three, which are supposed to be the first three movies. We ain't even got there yet. So we got Star Wars cartoons, comic books, action figures, DVDs, Blu-rays, damn, what we want to call them? Blu-ray, not Blu-ray. No. What was the disc we used to call back in the day? Laser disc? Yeah, got all that. Star Wars. It was impactful. Mind you, we wasn't in the first Star Wars movie. We might have been dressed up in a costume where you couldn't tell it was us. So, but we weren't in the first Star Wars movie. That's crazy. '77. Ain't that's flower time, right? Right. We coming off of Woodstock. Everybody feeling good. Yeah. Not too good, because like I said, the first Star Wars movie didn't have us in it. No, that ain't what that was. So you have to be able to see yourself in the movie for the movie to be successful. Safe to say, quite a few folks saw themselves in the movie. Even us. Even though we weren't in the movie, we were Star Wars fans. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca. Oh yeah. We was all in. We were all Princess Leia. We were all in, and we weren't even in the damn movie. So it would take something like that. Does the Black Panther franchise have the lore? Because I think that's the only question we have to ask. Everything else, we can make it do what it do. But if the Black Panther franchise does not have the lore, then the answer automatically is no. All things being equal, it would not have the relevancy of a Star Wars franchise because it doesn't have enough. But when it comes to the Black Panther franchise, this actually is one of the deepest franchises out there when it comes to lore. It's just not common knowledge. It's just not common knowledge. When you look at Mosi, that's 1 million BC. That's the beginning of time, right? You got the 1 million BC Avengers. There's not that much known about Mosi, thus it can be filled in. That's the very first Black Panther. Well, Bushinga really doesn't have any stories of relevance, and he, notice how I said relevance, and he's the very next Black Panther. And you got him, his daughter, and his son. In that story, while it's written, it ain't drawn out. Think about what I just said. It ain't drawn out. It ain't. So there, and you really, and we have no adventures of Mosi or Bushinga worth a damn. Yeah, we got Mosi with the Avengers, but are we really think we don't have those stories fleshed out like that? We don't even have Mosi talking like that. We don't. That character, the very first Black Panther, to a degree, has no personality. Now, here's the damnedest thing. When you take into consideration what Cheryl Lynn Eaton gave us in Blood Hunt, I know y'all gonna be like, damn, Theo, I know. I'm right there with y'all. I'm right there because I'm sitting up here like, I know I probably didn't just ruin all my damn chances and every damn thing like that. But really, when we talk about it, if the Avengers got their own editorial department and the X-Men got their own editorial department, stay with me. I got Hunter, I got Casper Cole, I got the Dora Milaje, I got the Hatu Zadaze, I got T'Challa, I got Shuri. Why Black Panther, Wakanda don't have their own editorial? I got Besa, I got Taku. Don't make me keep doing this. I got Cantu. Why don't they have their own editorial department? Like, that's never mind, because that ain't what we're talking about. that ain't what we're talking about. But I ain't saying, I'm just saying, like, damn, I got gentle. Like, I really could be going ham writing stories with characters just from Wakanda. The Wakanda Warriors. That's a whole damn super team on the continent of Africa. Yeah, y'all start. Yeah, man, y'all tripping. Never mind. But you see where I'm going with this, right? Who's dedicated to telling Black Panther stories? The lore is there. Shout out to Karama Horn. The lore is there. Shout out to Jack Kirby, Stan Lee. Shout out to Don McGregor. The lore is there. Like, we're not gonna do that. I know folks be like, no, I keep saying I like some of the stuff Christopher Priest did. Some of the stuff I don't like what he did. That's fair. Well, shout out to Christopher Priest. The lore is there. Reginald Hudlin, it's there. It's there. It's there. Jonathan Mayberry, it's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. David Lynch, that lore, the legacy. Ta-Nehisi Coates, it's there. It's there. We don't even like to mention that dude's name, but you ready? The Wakandan, that's still lore. It's there. It's there. It just ain't fleshed out with the intergalactic empire. Shout out to Jonathan Hickman. It's just now being fleshed out. But what about all the stuff that came before the intergalactic empire? Y'all be on the lookout for that Black Panther Intergalactic coming out later on this year. And if we're talking Afrofuturism, if we're talking Afrofuturism, And we just want to start this story in the future where we got his son, Azari. Well, how far do we have to go back? Because then there's Aurora Monroe. I don't give a damn what anybody got to say. I don't. I don't care what the hell you got going on. It's Aurora and T'Challa. I'm so sorry you don't get it. You can dance around with it, play around with it all day, every day, twice on Sunday. I'm sorry if you don't see any significance in the black super child. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing right now. If you black and you don't see no value in yourself as far as when it comes to a black super baby, I'm sorry. That's your bad. That's your bad. I don't care if you here, there, anywhere. I'm sorry. You see more value outside of you than inside of you. You're bad. But thinking about the stories we can tell, I'm going to keep up with these notes. Then I'm going to come on back. Let me see who we got up in here. Harama Fall, appreciate you pulling up, big dog. You started this. You started this. If we're talking his intergalactic empire, the answer is yes. Marvel and DC Cosmic feels like Star Wars to me. Absolutely agree. S. Jadis, perhaps though, I'm not sure the way the entertainment works today that you can build something as big as Star Wars. We're all too atomized. That's why I said all things being equal. All things being equal. I'm right there with you. All things being equal. And I'm going to jump into that a little bit further. What's going on, Grand Madam Tara? My spiritual advisors in the building. S. Jadis, yeah. George Lucas never thought A New Hope would blow up the way it did, and it changed the game. It did. Done properly, Grand Madam Tarot, a Black Panther franchise could have been as big as Star Wars. Agreed. Agreed. Especially when we're talking Afrofuturism. And that's something that I don't think, by and large, we right here, right? A few others know it. But when we talk Afrofuturism, that's not a generalized term. It's not a common term. So folks don't know what that looks like. I really want to say, while some folks may disagree, I really want to say the artwork in Dr. Eve Ewing's run gave us our first visual taste of what the possibilities of Afrofuturism could look like. So shout out to the artist once again. Ron Paul saying, no, go ahead. Hey, man. Appreciate that. Check out Apple TV series called The Foundation. That to me could be a version of Wakanda. I like that. Shout out to Black Granite pulling up. Thank you so much for pulling up. And you're absolutely right. Like I said, with the intergalactic empire, untapped stories and character. Yeah, it's right there. It is right there. Star Wars is more space fantasy than science fiction, like Trek. True. Diesel says Marvel made SW Comics. DC had Trek. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember that. Black Granite says, I would love to see and read different stories written by other Black creators about Wakanda, etc. Even Emperor T'Challa being a grandfather dealing with the ins and outs of the Empire Galaxy. Thank you for that. That's one of the things we had. And I remember when I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, you could walk into the bookstore and you could pick up a Star Trek novel, a Star Wars novel. And I've been telling people, like, to get past the point of it being too difficult to read wordy comic books, go read a novel. There ain't no pictures in them. Yeah, you got to imagine every damn thing going. Go read a novel. But to your point, to have writers dedicated to writing stories, and see where to go here. So I got the Black Panther comic book. And say, I'm gonna start in order. Say Roxanne Gay, because she wrote a Black Panther series. Say she comes in and she wants to write a novel, and that novel is about Nahanda, right? And what she writes about Nahanda is considered canon. Ain't too far off, because what Karama Horn wrote in this book is canon. It's not a comic book. This is not a comic book, but everything she wrote in here is canon to Marvel Comics. So it would be one of those things where you have Roxanne Gay. She writes a standalone novel, right? About Nahonda, her time as a Black Panther. She would be the second female Black Panther, right, in history. And the stories that, mind you, those stories would be deeper, a deeper cut, because there will only be words. But that's those stories, her adventures in that graphic novel, not graphic novel, in that novel would be canon to the comic books. At some point in time, somebody could come along and do a artistic version, short version of that book, but it could be there. Like as we said, that lore is there. That lore is there. That lore is there, and it's deep. Miss May Kent, the head door herself, is in the building. Let's see here. Steezel says Empire Strikes Back was the first live action film I remember seeing in theaters. We were there. We were there. Professor Film Fan is in the building. Thank you so much for pulling up. What's going on? Keep going up. Not surprised a true visionary like George Lucas sees the importance of T'Challa, the Black Panther, unlike Kevin Feige, Nate Moore, and Ryan Coogler. You know what? It's time to turn the page on that. And what do I mean when I say that? I ain't got to keep talking about how I ain't even got to mention their name no more. I don't, because at this particular juncture in time, the evidence is there. The evidence is there. Nobody can tell me Ryan Coogler is a comic book fan. That evidence sit right there. That evidence sit right there. You can tell me he's a horror movie fan. I got you. I'm with you. You can tell me he like drama, crime stories, and everything like that. Don't tell me he a superhero fan. Don't tell me he a superhero fan. Don't tell me Kevin Feige is a superhero fan. And you, since Nate Moore, shout out to Gray, we know you definitely can't tell me Nate Moore care nor give a damn about. Wait, hold on, pause. Ain't Kevin Feige the one throwing Anthony Mackie under the bus? Oh yeah, timeout. Yeah, I need a review real quick. Shout out to the Rock With Me Nation. This is why we said respect the source material. We knew when that movie didn't do well, he was going to throw Anthony Mackie under the bus. We knew that because he didn't come out to save the young lady who was the writer director over the Marvels. He let her get ran over. Well, who do you think has a bigger, brighter future in Hollywood? Kevin Feige or the young lady who wrote the Marvel, whose name I can't even remember right now? Because he's still getting paid for releasing trash. That's what that is. Okay, when you put Anthony Mackie in a movie that wasn't even his damn movie. Mark Ruffalo's movie. Now, mind you, here's the damnedest thing of it all. Anthony Mackie went along for the ride. Playing a character that has little to do with the character in the comic books. You getting manhandled in damn near every movie. You feeling like your superpower when you actually do have one is just talking folks off the ledge. Well, you know what? It wasn't just Anthony Mackie's fault that movie sucked. No. Who put it together? Who wrote it? Oh, it was a brother that wrote it. But did that brother ever say he was a Sam Wilson fan, a Falcon fan, let alone a Captain America fan? No. The dude with the baseball cap hung him out to dry. Wait, didn't he just do that with Jonathan Majors? No, I'm looking at a trend here. Since when is Kang not a major villain? You know what's crazy? What's crazy is we stick up for the actor and the directors. Mind you, we sticking up for them for a reason, but they gotta own the knowledge. They not owning the knowledge, but who threw them up under the bus right off the rip? And we told you specifically why it wasn't gonna work. We said that ain't the movie. No, he said, what did Kevin say? He didn't say it was bad writing. He said Chris wasn't in it. That's crazy. Not bad writing. Chris wasn't in it. I.e., nobody wants to see Sam as Cap. That's what he was saying. So the Notorious Green GL is up there with Stan Lee to me. I ain't mad at that. Peace to the brothers. What's going on, Big Terry? But going back to the topic, because what we're talking about is the relevancy of the Black Panther franchise. If it's done right, could it be as relevant as Star Wars? We have to remember something here. We said all things being equal. Now, we already know how the Asian market feels about movies with us leading them. They don't really rock with it like that. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out what make you think you better than me. Like, I'm trying to figure out what got you to the point where you looking down your nose at me. I ain't never figured that one out. I ain't never figured that one out. But anyway, all things being equal, then this means that the movie would perform just as well in the Asian markets, right? We're saying all things being equal. Let's stay here though. Let's back up. Kenner. Because all that weighs into it. The toy line. Well, while we do have a good amount of Black Panther, no, that's a lie. I ain't even finna tell that lie. I started the lie. I ain't finna do that. The Black Panther action line is nowhere near. Watch what I say. We ain't got as many action figures as Star Wars does. It's not even close. We don't even have action figures for characters that actually exist. It's T'Challa. Let's think about this for a second. We got T'Challa. We got Shuri. We got T'Chaka. Damn what we didn't customize. We're not talking about what we didn't customize. We're talking about what Hasbro, the toy line, then gave us. We got T'Challa. We got Shuri. We got T'Chaka. We got M'Baku. We got Nakia. We got Okoye. We got Ayo. Now you can count Everett Ross if you want to. You can count Claw if you want to. But if I'm looking at my math correctly, that ain't but 9 characters. I'm sorry, it's way more than 9 characters in Black Panther lore. It's way more than 9. It's way more than 9. And it's way more than 9. So the toy company, Hasbro, would have to be just as dedicated to the Black Panther IP as Kenner and Hasbro are dedicated to the Star Wars IP. Think about how many Black Panther action figures would be sitting out there with that. Mosi Bashinka. Ben Hazen. Ben Hazen's daughter, right? Right. Because Queen Turkana is what would be her name, right? Then you got Mamadou Fall. Then you would have his daughter, Nahanda. We ain't got all the Black Panthers. How many Black Panthers we got? We got Shuri and T'Challa and T'Chaka. Shit. That's it. We don't have anybody else. That's a lot of lore out there. That's a lot of, and then What did not Cheryl Lynn Eaton do? What did Dr. Eve Ewing do? She gave us M. Telly. That's another Black Panther. Okay. Did she give us the High Toots Zadaze back then? I can't think of his name, but that, and those High Toots Zadaze action figures, characters look different than the High Toots Zadaze that we have today. Well, Kenner would have ate up all of that. Kenner would have ate up all that. Did we get a demon back then? The demon that Dr. Eve Ewing, Kenner would have had him sitting out there too. Yeah, there's nothing that Kenner would not have done. Yeah, anybody seen Horatio? That's a character. What about the first Malice? That was back in the 70s. Yeah, not only would Kenner have had those action figures out there, they'd have released those action figures like 5 or 6 times in different ways. We wouldn't have bought it. If they dropped the action figure line right now with every Black Panther, you wouldn't buy it? You don't think it would sell? If they dropped every Black Panther that's ever existed, from Mosi all the way to current day, we don't think folks would buy it? If they sold the Golden Throne Room, if they sold that as a diorama set piece, we don't think folks would buy it. You know how they be making these Star Wars diorama set pieces? We don't think folks would buy it. If they made Warriors Fall as a diorama set piece, we don't think folks would buy it. We don't think folks would buy it. Hell, the Quinjet, knowing damn good and well that T'Challa designed it. You know he designed it. Ain't no damn Wakandan Institute of Science. No, him. You wouldn't buy it? Keep up with these notes. Keep up with these notes. Until T'Challa and Luke Skywalker are restored, both franchises will suffer. I feel that. I feel that, Big Terry. Cisco is my favorite captain. The Dominion War was peak. My mother is massive Trekkie. Hey, Mr. Theo, who is writing a new Black Panther comic book series? We have not found out yet, Big Ryan. We have not found out. In live action, I see no respect to Jack Kirby or Stan Lee. T'Challa is the lead character. That comes from Miss May Kent. D. Steezel, my grandma loved her some Trek. Also, my pops, I got the Trek bug from him. I got it from my grandmother. I feel what you're saying, Steezel. Black Granite, dang, can you imagine a story around that Black Panther Transformer mech that Hot Toys came out with? Listen, and I'm still interested in it. I know exactly what you talk about. Ooh, that's a bit of change right there, but I'm still interested. I'm not just interested in that. I'm interested in the Thundercats headquarters and the Thundercats Thunder Tank. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. S-Static, hasn't been announced, probably Lavelle, because he wrote the one shot and all the other one shot writers got confirmed. Black Grant, Dan, can you imagine the story around that Black Panthers? Yep, I got that. Theo, thank you for this conversation. I love the Intergalactic Empire. Listen, it's nice. I heard some folks say some stuff about it, but I didn't agree. We got the brother in space. What we talking about? Why he should have been in space, coming from the most technologically advanced. But hey, folks, go back and forth. I'm with it. I'm with it. S-Jadix, Anthony Mackie went along for the ride, and all the rumors are they keep lowering his importance as Doomsday. Now behind RDJ Doom, Pedro, Reed, Hemsworth, Thor. Hey, as Grace says, you get the representation you settled for. Well, you want Sam Wilson to be like you, not like Sam Wilson, because you from New Orleans, Louisiana. You want Sam Wilson to be from New Orleans, Louisiana, because you want to talk stuff out. You want Sam Wilson to talk stuff out. Mind you, that's not appealing to the Sam Wilson comic book fans, and it damn sure ain't doing nothing for you in regards to these YNs out here and everything like that. No, They want to see some rugged, thuggish bone. And you got Sam out here trying to talk to folks. Man, listen. Even a nice person got to put their set up at some point. All this talking, and stop getting your wings ripped off every damn time. That's crazy. No one would take Dr. Doom seriously if his Silver Surfer debut had him taking the L from Ant-Man. Not even Hank Pym. Listen. Once again, watch where I go with this one. Jonathan went with it. Now, Jonathan probably went along with it because he was under the impression, based on what Marvel was releasing, that the character was coming back. That said, that is a weak L to take because Kang ain't taking that L. That's a shame. Hasbro should be dropping something from Black Panther in every comic series. Miss Kent, they are doing a World of Magic Black Panther action figure. I have no idea what that looks like, but because some folks like to take to social media and say, well, black folks got to do this. Black folks are. If you're black, you probably doing it too, unless you just don't do it. We can't sit up here and say we aren't buying Black Panther merch when literally T'Challa has a fan base. And if I don't know anything else, I know it's at least 3, 4, 5 of us dedicated to keeping the fan base informed when new Black Panther stuff drop. So if you ain't got your Dora Milajes, that's your fault. If you ain't got your Hatu Zeraze, that's your fault. You ain't got your T'Chaka, it's your fault. You ain't got your fair share of Black Panthers, whether they be Shorty or T'Challa. That is your fault. We are going above and beyond to let folks know where you can get your Black Panther merch from. We are dedicated to this character. You can't be sitting up here talking about what we need to do and you ain't doing it your damn self. Because I see folks out there wanting to say it, and we ain't just going to settle for any damn thing. Meaningless representation ain't no different than empty representation. So we're not doing that. But as far as repping this character, oh no, it's quite a few of us repping this character. Quite a few. So if you ain't doing that yourself, stop telling folks what they need to be doing. Let's see here. But to your point, Hasbro should be dropping. There's more action figures out there. I cannot wait till tomorrow. Toy Tuesday. Mr. Ray Smith, my elder, has dropped Mr. Okonkwo. And if you're a Black Panther fan, you know who that is. He's customized another version of Aurora Monroe, thicker than the Schnicker. Yes, good. Look better than what Hasbro getting ready to give us with that Outback outfit. Yeah. What else are we looking at in regards to Mr. Ray Smith? He helped me in regards to my Hunter. I think he and my brother Daryl have M'Baku, Man Ape, not to be confused with this MCU stuff. No, they have that. So we've done everything we possibly. Shout out to Art Man Customs. Shout out to my brother Big Chad for letting me know that he was out there with that young brother out there. We had the Queen Mother remove the head sculpt. And that's all we needed to get us some Angela Bassett, right? Shout out to that brother. We have the Dr. Eve Ewing Pauldron. I got it, bro. Pauldron. We got Bast. This is stuff that Marvel Hasbro Legends has been known to sitting out there for a long. We ain't got it. But then again, did the MCU act like they were pressed to give us Bast? Here we go. I like this one right here. The Rock, on behalf of the Rock With Me Nation, this isn't a false statement. It's a true statement. We invested more into bringing Bast to the general public than the MCU. It ain't even close. And I ain't got it like that. No, they gave you a digitized version of a cat. Then they gave you a blink and you miss it moment in Thor Love and Thunder. Meanwhile, we didn't went over to Art Man Customs and at the very least got the head sculpt actually done for bass so you can have bass in your home. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Did Ryan do that? Hold on, hold on. Let me do this right here. Let me do this right here. Y'all give me a second. Give me. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me. Hold on. Y'all give me a second, because when we say we got it at the house, we really do mean we got it at the house. We say bass, right? We say bass. So ain't nobody cut me no check. No, we dip in our own pockets. Bass. You can have bass in your home. you can have the goddess bass in your home, not for a hot second. No, you just go get you a body sculpt, Hasbro Marvel Legend. Bam, there you go. There you go right there. There you go right there. There you go right there. Magic the Gathering Black Panther will mostly be his classic all black seamless suit based on the card. I hope they do something different. Mr. Ray Smith, my elder, is in the building. What is going on, Mr. Smith? Don't get me started on Thundercat LL. I just got the Mondo's line on. Listen, I'm serious. I'm serious. It's not a game over here. And I'm thankful for the fact that I have a wife that believes in me, believes in my vision and everything like that. My wife, that's my rock. She encourages me. Without her, this wouldn't even be possible. Let me see. I wonder who would pick to write the Black Panther new comic run. We're gonna see. Boo, I bought 2 of them just to have a Panther. You bought 2 of them, big dog. Oh, you wasn't playing. You cause they not cheap. They not cheap. Congratulations, big dog. I think I'm because I have not seen a video yet on YouTube where somebody actually has that. I definitely want to take a look at it. Anytime I start visualizing some stuff, at some point in time, it's gonna walk through the front door. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. George got some original BP art pieces. They'll be in his museum. GL, this belongs. Yeah, that's how it's gonna do. Let me keeping up with these notes. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. Y'all didn't have to be here. Y'all did not. King Cam, I missed a couple classes. Grand Madam says she will be back though. Ta-Nehisi Coates might be called back to write Black Panther. I would welcome that. I know some folks wouldn't, but I would be absolutely open from that. That comes from Miss May Kent. Yes, if y'all could please hit those likes. They need to turn Bastard loose. We need that. We need that. Black Granite said, my homeboys make me a Star Panther figure. You can't go wrong with that one. You can't go wrong. That's Anuke, Koku, Todd, Gekre, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Kamoyo. I don't understand why she hasn't been using a live action Black. I do, but you know, folks might not be ready for that conversation. Thank you, Miss. Appreciate. So, I had to do that payment plan. Hey, when you get it, bro, let us know and everything like that. We just want to be able to enjoy it with you. We just want to be able to enjoy it with you. And if you are looking for a bass head sculpt, Art Man __ customs is where you go. He also did the Dr. Eve Ewan Pauldron. And once again, it's one of those things where we say, if you know us, grow us, and sharing is caring. This is absolutely wonderful. He's got the bands on the back and everything like that where I can have that. But I'm not. Think about what we're saying. We're willing to pay customs because I don't want to get too far off into that. There's a lot of lore, Black Panther lore, no different than Star Trek lore. And there's a lot of Black Panther lore yet to be written. Think about this for a second. We're telling T'Challa stories. We're not telling Sion stories, who's been a Black Panther. We're not telling T'Chaka stories, who's been a Black Panther. They finna lie and give you a Zuri story in that 1943 crap. That's a lie. They ain't got nothing to do with the comic books. But even with that, by and large, the only person who's giving us a story of a Zuri is Reginald Hudlin, Flags of Our Fathers. They just introduced Mtelli in Dr. Eve Ewing's run. We got one story with Mtelli. One, really? Well, ain't nobody else. There's a lot of lore back there. Nahanda created the Dora Milaje. She did. Reginald Hudlin has a story in Black Panther Annual 1 where essentially we would have to figure out who that Panther is, but that Panther halted slavery in the world. It wasn't Abraham Lincoln coming to no. The Black Panther over in Africa said, you know what? Y'all gonna stop this. Y'all gonna stop this and stuff gonna get ugly. There's a lot of stories out there that have yet to be told. That character's IP is actually deeper than Peter Parker's. Because Peter don't go back that far. It's deeper than Steve's. Don't go back that far. It's deeper than Tony. Iron Man. Don't go back that far. This dude go back. And the only Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and all of those writers that have followed since then, they have been working with pure gold. And the only things, I'm going to say this, here's the ego part of it. If Marvel went all in with T'Challa, like Mattel, Kenner, George Lucas went in with Star Wars, T'Challa would be the number one. Black Panther would be the number one IP at Marvel. They would be making money hands over fists. They would then become known, and they don't want to be known as that. That's what would be happening. They would become known as the Black comic book company because everybody would be, stay with me for a second. Folks don't like to think about it like that. If Marvel threw their weight, all things being equal, behind T'Challa, the Black Panther IP, threw their weight behind it, married T'Challa and Aurora, the same way they drop X-Men titles, right? Let's say they give you 3 to, and they've done it before, just not with clear-cut direction. Let's say they give you 3 to 4 Black Panther titles. You got a team book, The Warriors of Wakanda, that's 1. You got the Intergalactic Empire, that's 2. You got Wakanda Prime, that's 3. You can do a shooting title, throw that in there. It could be an anthology series, that's 4. You would be bound. As long as the writers take care of the characters and give you something you can sink your teeth into, you would buy all 4 titles and you wouldn't think twice. You wouldn't think twice. They set up dioramas that bring in some brothers and sisters that know how to do Afrofuturism and everything like that. Folks would buy it. They don't want that. That is the thing. See, to be number one, you have to be willing to do some stuff that might make you uncomfortable. Right now, you got the Hall of Armors. But Tony Stark's legacy, his lore, it's not as deep as the Black Panther IP. It's not even close. What it is you got people whose egos are too fragile to go make that money. You don't want to do that. Folks like looking past it. But I'm going to say it again because he told the truth. Folks want to act like he was lying. No, if you look at how the world is moving today, what he said December 8th, 2020 is still relevant. You don't want to see us as no hero. You want to see me as a victim. Jacksonville, Florida. You want to see me as a victim sitting, getting punched in the face, and then be justified doing it. What you don't want me to do is you don't want me conducting myself like those brothers from back in the day that actually shared the same name as the character we talking about today. Those brothers knew the law. I wouldn't have been asking nobody what the statute was. I'd have knew what the statute was. And I'd have been asking you why your headlights went on. See how that go? So you wouldn't be able to give me no character that's getting their behind whooped all the time, because I would be asking the same questions that dude asked, right? The one over my shoulder. Remember when he was on the soap opera? He asked the tough questions. We don't want to ask tough questions. We just want to accept anything given to us. That's what a brother suggested last night. Just take anything that they give us. Ain't that what Anthony Mackie did? You just take, no. Discerning spirit. We're not taking empty, meaningless representation is just as negative as empty representation. It don't move the needle. It don't move the needle. What's going on? There, speak of the devil, Afro, futuristic samurai. Greetings. What's going on, Afro? Racism is expensive and as well as the meaning. Yeah. So that's, to me, that's why they won't do it. When you look at how we ran behind the first movie, 1.3. We ran. That trumped anything they did since then. Since before then, after then. 1.3 billion. Even not really rocking with the second movie, 800 million. Talking to somebody today, I'm like, bro, do you not sit up here? If you do that movie right, you got 1.3 the first time around. What might you have gotten the second time around? If they'd did the movie the way I suggested doing it, Deadliest of the Species, Power, Doom War, the Bozeman Wakanda Helicarrier, that movie would have easily did 2. You talking about 1.3? No, because that movie would have had the Bozeman Helicarrier in it. Nobody had seen before. You'd have had a beautiful tribute to Chadwick Boseman, which you did not do. You would have introduced a brand new actor that folks would have fell in love with, because they'd have still been crying in the damn movie theater. You'd have had 2 Black Panthers on screen, Shuri and T'Challa, which would have got everybody stoked and everything like that. Then you'd have brought Dr. Doom in, which would have had everybody and their mama going crazy. Yeah, you messed that one up. You messed that one up. You did. That one was easy. But hey, who am I? You messed that one up. I'm moving around a lot these days. Not really the time for me to collect figures. Understood. Hey, what's meant for you is meant for you. I mean that. I say that. I say that. I mean that. What's meant for you is meant for you. The figures that you can't get today, if they're meant for you to get, you're gonna get them. Yeah. Don't matter when you get them, you're gonna get them. So ain't no rush, big dog. They're gonna be there when you get them. They're gonna be there when you get them. Yeah, those BP side character titles didn't work out. Too inspired by the MCU instead of classic comic book. Yeah, it's fine. What's going on? King Cam is into the building. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on King Cam's Unjambi podcast. Thank you so much for showing up, Big Cam. So yeah. Make sure we got this. So in essence, when somebody asked a question, and like I said, it was a great question. My brother asked the question. It was a great question. Could it be Harama Fall? If everything's 1 for 1, all things being equal, we throw our weight behind a Black Panther franchise, like we throw our weight behind the Star Wars franchise. And let's be clear, the actress did pass away. They did not delete the character. Right. And we've seen that so many times. So stop acting like what they did in regards to Chadwick Boseman was somehow honorable. If you never complained about them not deleting the character before because the actor passed away, don't act like this was something honorable now. You're being a hypocrite. And the sad part about it is you're being a hypocrite to your damn self. No, if they did what Kenner, Mattel, Marvel Entertainment, the movie studio, the actors, that's the other thing, the actors and actresses, they were committed to the roles they played. They were committed to the roles they played. The writer-director was committed to the script. Folks might like him, and that's fine. You can. You don't personally know him, neither do I. But I can honestly say Ryan Coogler doesn't know the story like that. And based on the way he's telling it, he don't care like that. He wants to tell the stories that he can see outside his window. I don't stay in his neighborhood. I don't stay in his neighborhood. So that being what it is, that is what it is. Aside from that, to me, if you're asking me, I might be biased, but I'm also knowledgeable. Star Wars and Black Panther. If you're asking me, could Black Panther, the franchise, no differently than the Star Wars franchise, be as relevant as the Star? That means the Asian market ain't acting racist. They jumping into it and everything like that. The toy company is all behind it. The studio ain't acting stupid and everything like that. And you got folks that know and care about this project. Yeah. If we know nothing else, and this is where folks are not going to think about this, who spends the most money in this country? Now, that should tell you everything you need to know right now. Who spends the most money in this country on disposable stuff? It's us. It's us. They keep telling you who spend the most. We do. Well, if you put something that's worth a damn with us in it, 1.3 billion. Multiply that by 2. Multiply that by 3. What you got? You know, my math a little slow. Hold on, let me grab this calculator here for a second here and everything like that. Let me do this. What we 3.9? So you mean tell me I can put out 3 movies, 3, and damn near get 4 billion? Oh man, that's nice. And then they do 6. And some other smaller movies. Okay, so what, you mean tell me you're gonna give me 6 movies? Black Panther. So I give me some Power, some Deadliest of the Species. I can get him up in Hell's Kitchen, Most Dangerous Man Alive. I can get some. I can get me some of that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I can get me some of that. You gonna give me some of him out there in the Intergalactic Empire too? You gonna give me some of that? Oh, don't tell me that. I'm talking movies now. I'm talking movies. Don't tell me that. You gonna give me a 2-part intergalactic movie? And I'm not checking it. So you mean tell me I'm not checking? You give me an Avengers tie-in crossover event where the Black Order come to Wakanda. I'm not watching that movie. When Shooty raise up and say Wakanda forever, I am not. Okay, never mind. Never mind. No, never mind. I don't even want to do that. Women spend the most money in this country. There it is. There it is. See. Where's the Saturday morning cartoon special? There's so many different things I could do with this. Because I'm sitting up here saying, if Karama Horn then gave me a whole handbook, and Kamoyo worked for the Dora Milaje, and Kamoyo and his wife are working on a handbook for the Hatu Zadaze, you mean tell me I ain't got no video series dedicated to this where I can sit my little girls in front of? I ain't got no Dora Milaje little cartoon for my daughters to watch. Why not? Because they Black? I'm just saying, like, sit right there, cartoons. What? What? I can't, because I can sit down and have my kids watch all the little cartoons, cute little animated cartoons with white characters, maybe the side black character here or there. What about the one with the black character? Yeah, like why my kids can't be attending the Wakanda Institute of Science every Saturday morning? Sit down here, you might just learn something. I don't think I think all they got in Star Wars for the kids is if you got the Force with you. If you ain't got the Force with you, you just screwed. But in Wakanda, oh no, we got superhumans over in Wakanda. Yeah, we don't talk about it, but they got a whole facility. You know how you got the Wakanda Institute of Science? Yeah. They got a whole building. I forget a whole institute for Wakandan superhumans that we don't talk about. Yeah, they got their own superhuman school over there in Wakanda. I listen, I forget what it's called, but I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, it's sitting right there. It's in the handbook, as a matter of fact. It's in the Karama Horn handbook. Yeah. We got superhumans in Wakanda and we don't even know it. Well, why Taku can't be an instructor over there? What about Horatio? He can't be no instructor. Cantu, he right there in the mute zone. He can't be no instructor. What about Basil? What we doing with her? It's a lot over there. It's a lot over there. May they sure do. So Marvel Entertainment has the wrong people over the Black Panther franchise. I'm just saying, like I said, I just wanted to make sure we understood the question. And the question is, all things being equal, could it? Yeah. Yeah. And it starts right here. If you got the lore, didn't they do Krypton over there on the Sci-Fi Network? Right. Where T'Challa's family tree goes beyond Clark's. So there's a lot there to tell. So lore-wise, story-wise, yeah. If somebody wanted to do it, yeah, it's there. But that's if everything is equal. But let's be fair, it's not. The toy company is not investing in the character like that. And there's no reason, from what I've seen, why they can't. Since I have been on this YouTube channel, I'm not the only one showing up with Black Panther action figures. I'm not the only one celebrating the releasing and the collecting of Black Panther action figures. I'm not. So that's being done, but the toy company ain't doing anything with it. We sat up here and we made it perfectly clear. We wanted either the Krakoa Age Aurora, the Araco Aurora, or hell, even the Aurora from Marwa Ayadele's run. What did they give us? Nobody's checking for that body mold, and nobody was asking for that action figure. Now, there might be some buying. As a matter of fact, I know somebody that's going to buy it. Not a problem. But that wasn't the preferred choice. Definitely not that body sculpt. Who they listening to? We still ain't got Shorty as the griot. How long has Shorty been a griot? Even with them dropping Black Panther 2 and having the Midnight Angels in it, they dropped Midnight Angel action figures. How long have the Midnight Angels been around? How long has Casper Cole been in Marvel Comics? How long has Hunter been around in Marvel Comics? What about Malice? We still ain't got the OG Eric Killmonger yet. And they sit right there. When did this character come out? Stay with me. 1966. When did the first Star Wars movie come out? See, this is when you, if you Black, don't be no ass. This character predates that franchise by 11 years. 11. By 11 years. It took that character how long to make it live action? And don't say it was because of the fans, because prior to the movie coming out, Star Wars had no fans. So don't say that. Don't throw that out there. Don't throw that out there. No. If they got behind it, like they get behind other stuff, well, 1.3 billion. That's all I know to tell you. 1.3 billion, and let them tell it that that character didn't have a household name. That's crazy. 1.3 billion, which is more than any other MCU movie sent before then, for that character not to be a household name. Imagine. Imagine. That's one thing DC has over Marvel is television, DC, HBO Max series. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. That's true. That's true. Moody is in Wakanda as well as Flea. Yeah. Yeah. Flea it. You say Theo. No, because I got my Valorverse action figure, and that's my Flea. He ain't on the wall. I'm gonna have to go get him. Afro says 77. Yeah, 77. So yeah, listen, think about that. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Shout out to Aroma Fall. Critical thinking is always the best thing. In regards to us arguing with folks, we don't have to argue with people. We really don't. It's opinion. But if the person doesn't know the lore, doesn't know the stories, that's not the person to have the conversation with. It's not equal. You're not operating on equal footing. You know more about the franchise they love than they know about the franchise you love, and that you can't have a genuine, you can't have genuine discourse like that. That said, we got Wakanda at the house. We don't mind sharing where we get our stuff from. We understand Black Panther fan group. It ain't about us having it individually. It's about the fan group having access to it so we can continue to grow the fandom. So whatever we have, we don't mind sharing. Shout out to Flash by Night Marvel. Welcome addition to the Rock With Me Nation. Why? Because sharing is caring. If you know us, grow us. And we believe in being amongst those who celebrate us as opposed to being amongst those who tolerate us. Go where you're wanted. And so shout out to my brother doing that in there, and the fellow Devil Dog and everything like that. You can't, that esprit de corps is always going to be with me. So until then, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, right? Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Give me some ideas, some other stuff you want to talk about. We do have Absolute Green Lantern coming your way, issue 3. Yes, issue 3. We got Absolute Green Lantern issue 3 coming your way later on this evening, so make sure you got your notifications on. Tomorrow is Toy Tuesday. Make sure you checking out me and my brother Daryl. Tomorrow is Toy Tuesday. Also, Mr. Ray Smith, my elder, sent some photos in of some stuff that he's been working on, and we're going to make sure we share that with the Rock With Me Nation tomorrow as well. So in the meantime, in between time, till next time, remember the late, great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman. I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so